Hello, I'm Askar Sharlief and you're watching the news from Kazakhstan. Kazakh pilots are finally returning home. The crew of the Ilyushin 76 arrested last year at Bangkok airport with nearly 40 tons of ammunition on board was deported from Thailand. The fate of the plane and weapons will be decided later. Perhaps everything will be transferred to the Thai Air Force. Referring to an anonymous source, a local newspaper, The Nation, reported that President Nursultan Nazarbayev has personally asked Thai authorities to release Kazakh pilots.
Thailand prosecutor's office recognized the Kazakh-Belarusian crew of the Ilyushin 76 not guilty of transporting arms. The pilot's official employer, company East Wing, told reporters the latest investigation news. The aircraft which carried the ammunition cargo is registered in Georgia and owned by a company from the United Arab Emirates. The latter leased the plane to a New Zealand company which passed it to a Hong Kong firm. The final destination of the flight was Iraq, but so far it is not clear who commissioned it. The flight plan is also somewhat confusing, as it was plotted through the Arab Emirates and Ukraine. Representatives of East Wing say that the crew was released under the UN sanctions. United Nations held its investigation to clarify all details, who was the commissioner, where, etc., and then decided that there are no complaints to the crew. What about you? We have nothing to do with this plane as an airline. We only employ these pilots who took a leave and worked for another company due to the difficult economic situation.
A new scandal involving children of officials is developing in Astana. Cafe chain owner Rustam Niyazov reported on Friday morning that the son of an MP, Oralbay Abdukarimov, who also chairs the Anti-Corruption Council of the country's ruling party, has vandalized one of the capital's cafes.
On Friday, an uninvited guest visited the Dastarkhan chain cafe in Astana and went on a rampage there, say eyewitnesses. He was armed with a round pointed shovel which he left in the building while living. We were all working when Kairat Abdukarimov entered. He threw his shovel into the glass, yelled some obscenities at us and left. We were very scared. The place owner said that he personally knows the shovel thrower. Moreover, in the recent past, they were business partners and co-owned the cafe chain. Now businessmen can only guess what could cause the aggression.
I do not understand his actions at all. He repeatedly threatened me and my family. He told me that I was working on his land and repeatedly raised national issues. He is the son of the respected person, Senator Oralbay Abdukarimov. Perhaps this is just an attempt to raid the place.
Kairat Abdukarimov's father is now a senator and the main fighter against corruption in the ruling party Nuratan. Unfortunately, Abdukarimov Sr. is not available for comments about his son's behavior as he is currently on a business trip.
He has left and I don't know anything about it. We do not interfere in privacy.
Meanwhile, the cafe's owner reported about the accident to the police. He said that it was sheer luck people were not injured. Chefs managed to escape and there were no visitors this early in the morning.
Mayra Kurmangalieva, the ex-wife of Bolat Nazarbayev, Kazakh president's brother, was charged with fraud by the financial police. Kurmangalieva is accused of being formalized as the major shareholder of Almaty Heavy Engineering Works plant using forged documents. According to newspaper Vremya, she is also blamed of raiding and seizing others' property to later re-register it as her own or her family's. Kurmangalieva fled abroad to escape police interrogation and is not planning to return anytime soon. To the other news. For the fourth time since the beginning of the trial, Mukhtar Jakishev's attorney Nurlan Beysikeyev demanded the disqualification of Saray-Akın District Court Judge Nurjan Joldazbekov.
Attorney Beysikeyev believes the judge has sided with the prosecution as once again the latter rejected several of the attorney's motions, noting that none of them are subject to appeal. This includes the request to dismiss public defender Bulat Isatayev from the case. Also, medical conclusions of independent physician Vladimir Babarykin will not be attached to the case materials for further review. In addition, the fact that Galym Kaliyev, a doctor of the National Security Committee, received the access to state secrets only on February the 2nd of this year was not taken into consideration as well. We're beginning to run out of legal methods since the court makes these decisions and they cannot be appealed. The only way I can somehow reason with the court and make it see what is going on right in front of it, make more motions for accusation.
Meanwhile, another well-publicized trial is starting in Astana. The Justice Ministry has refused to register the national movement Demokratiya Jasasın. Find out more next.
The Registration Service Committee of the Justice Ministry explains the rejection by the similarity of the name of the registering union with that of the dissolved party Democratic Choice of Kazakhstan. Apparently, the ministry's officials didn't like the word democracy. Vladimir Kozlov appealed to the judge with a request to review the materials in the Constitutional Court, since the rejection to register a public association contradicts constitutional norms. This forced the court to take a timeout until Monday, February 15th. Hundreds of associations were registered in Kazakhstan with the word Atan and Nur in their names even before the People's Democratic Party Nur Otan was registered. However, the authorities do not cancel its registration. Perhaps this is because the party leader is the President Nazarbayev.
Representatives of ArcelorMittal complain about the influx of negative information about the company in the press, even though it complies with all local laws, provides social support for its employees, and has better injury and illness rates than many other enterprises in Kazakhstan. The rest of the story is next.
The administration of ArcelorMittal conglomerate complains about the frequent negative coverage of its activities in the press. Managers of the company say that published information is often distorted. Special attention is paid to internet resources as they are accessible throughout the entire world.
The company's image affects stock exchange, shares, speculation and so on, but the press always reports that ArcelorMittal is a bad company.
The frequent appearance of the company's name in the press is linked to suit against ArcelorMittal filed last fall by 9 women, the plant's computer operators. First, they did not want to change their position and now they seek payments for working in hazardous conditions. Alkali being a suspended matter is harmful substance that can end up in our eyes. There is also temperature noise and harmful temperature fluctuations. The company explains that operator position had been eliminated. Those who agreed to change their specialization already receive a 24% premium as hazard pay.
I can assure you that we do pay premiums for working in hazardous conditions.
Anton Volkov does not work for the plant for more than a year now, but still remembers terrible work conditions. At the same time, the company underwent a job site certification, although conducted by its own lab.
Thus, if the lab belongs to the company that pays for it, why would I show any results unsuitable to the company?
Administration counters this by saying that independent experts can be invited for review. Also, the state authorities always double-check the obtained results. Unfortunately, no one here believes the state as well.